Hey, what's up everyone? I am Torvolders and I'm excited to bring you this cheap T5 dark running Sacrilege video. This fit has become a good go-to fit ever since the Surgical Strike update where we saw short range ammo such as rage missiles get a buff and damage. Now this fit doesn't use any resistance modules that got nerfed, so overall has become a better option to use in the Abyss. Quick disclaimer, I have most of the relevant skills for this ship and fit maxed out, so be aware of that when you're trying this out yourself. On top of that, this particular fit that requires you to pay attention, use heat, and use boosters in certain scenarios. Before putting out this video, I did quite a few T5 dark sights in this to make sure that it held up to any challenges T5s had to throw at it. If you have trouble with this fit, look into relevant training skills to train to level 5, heating, using boosters more, or practicing in T4s. You'll notice this fit is pretty cheap. This gives you a lot of room to upgrade as you use it and get more comfortable with it. As you progress, you can definitely bling it out as you wish to make your life easier, but here's the bare minimum you should use. Notice all the numbers and compare them to your own to make sure your output is the same as mine so you don't have any issues. If your numbers are different, train up those skills. You can also look at mutaplasmas to get some slight bonuses at the cost of fitting. The first room I'm going to showcase here is the leshak room. Usually leshaks are no issue until you see starving leshaks. As soon as you come into this room and see starving leshaks, get your longest range ammo, faction if you didn't bring precision missiles on the starving leshaks, as well as burning your prop mod to get in range and launching drones. Starving leshaks will cause your death if you don't act appropriately. The key here is to be as quick as possible with making the right decisions. I didn't bring precision missiles, but some Nova precision missiles could have helped kill these starvings quicker by hitting them from farther out. Dark sights don't have any penalties to a specific damage type, so use Nova on Triglavians as explosive is their lowest armor resistance. Once all of the starving leshaks are dead, free fire on the rest as quickly as you can to make sure their damage doesn't become too much to bear. With the amount of DPS the Sacrilege puts out, you shouldn't have any issues once the starving leshaks are down. This room here is one people have many issues with, specifically the starving Vedmax. Just as you did in the leshak room, the goal here is to burn down the starving Vedmax as quickly as possible to ensure you don't have any capacitive problems. It's really important to get webs, target painter, missiles, and drones on starving Vedmax as soon as possible so they don't have a chance to both ramp up damage and dry your capacitor out. For cruisers, you're safe using the rage ammo to get maximum DPS, so it's typically safe to always reload to Nova Rage before you enter the next room. Once all of the cruisers are down, you shouldn't have any issue with the frigates. Prioritize the most harmful to you, starving, ghosting, and tangling, and bring them down. It's extremely important that you use both the target painter and web on frigates to be able to apply damage. You're better off switching to faction missiles once it comes down to frigates for maximum application. Also take note of any blue cloud in the area because being in the blue cloud increases the signature radius of everything inside, making it easier for your missiles to hit the small stuff. Be aware of suppressors because they do damage to both your missiles and your drones. Up next, we've got Pilot's most dreaded room, Charybdis Tyrannos, or as I like to call her, Karen. As always, initial choices are extremely important here. The goal is to fly at Karen at an angle while simultaneously burning down the most dangerous cruisers to you, nudes first, then webs. Keep in mind that while you're doing this, you might take some hefty hits from Karen, so it'll be important to keep that Ancillary heated and be ready to pulse it when big hits are taken. This distance with Karen shooting you and dealing with the cruisers is a challenge, so it's important that you pay attention to what you're killing, hitting modules, and your flight path. Don't fly in a path that will take you into a blue cloud because this will make it even easier for Karen to hit you, and you cannot take multiple hits from Karen back to back. The goal here is to get within web range of Karen and under her guns. Application isn't a problem here, and there's no specific damage to shoot at these rats, so like I said before, your best bet is to reload to Nova Rage right before you activate the conduit to go into the next room. The target painter and web on cruisers, they drop pretty quickly. Don't forget to heat your launchers if you're struggling and they're not dying fast enough. If your drones are out, pay attention to the distance of the cruiser you're attacking. Sometimes the cruisers will go after drones and they'll chase each other out of range of you being able to hit properly. If this happens, either switch targets or pull your drones back. Sometimes it's not a bad idea to let drones take some heat as long as you pull them back in time. Once you get in web range of Karen and she can't apply, you're in a good spot to either melt her down or finish off any of the cruisers that can cause problems, such as webs or newts. She melts pretty quickly, and from here you get the fun challenge of burning back the gate, because typically Karen will burn away to the border. Once Karen is done, burn the gate and use drones and tractor beam to get the bioadaptive cache. That way you don't have to burn away from the gate and waste even more time. This room can take a while. Use Pyrolancea if you get nervous. Next room might come as a shock to you with how difficult it is, but it really is a challenge. A few cruisers is no problem, but the amount in this room is a lot for your tank to handle. As always, get your target priority set as you enter the room so you know what cruisers you need to kill first. My priority list is newts first, then webs, then confusers. In this room, the only problem is the confuser, which hurt missile applications, so I chose to go for them first. Pay attention here to your ancillary because you will definitely be using it. I did this entire room without using an exile pill, but it got pretty close. These cruisers have no problem applying damage even in dark, so your tank will be tested. It's up to you to kill them as quickly as possible, especially before your ancillary goes out. This is a good example of how your DPS is your tank. Once you kill enough of them, your normal armor repair can handle it. Something that I can't stress enough that it's important with this fit, heat. Use as much heat as you need to ensure you don't die. Always heat your ancillary when you're using it. Whenever you're not heating, repair as much as possible. Ideally, you'll heat so much that all of your stuff will get damaged, and it's important that you do as many quick, small repairs whenever you're not heating your modules to give yourself the most freedom without having to worry about long repair times or burning out your modules. The final room I felt I needed to showcase was the Battlecruiser room. This one isn't too tough. All you have to do is stay between 15 and 25 kilometers of the Battlecruisers. These Battlecruisers will hit you like a freight train if they get in range, so you have to keep them out of range of hitting you while still being able to apply to them with your heavy assault missiles. You can use rage, but your best bet is to use faction missiles due to the fact that you won't be within web range to slow them down and apply full rage damage. As you're doing this sight, you'll need to overheat your web and slow down anything that starts getting too close to keep them at bay. I default orbit the gate, and once you get into the orbit path with the Battlecruisers chasing you, it's not difficult to keep them at range while playing with your web and whoever gets close. If there are Snarecaster frigates, burn them down as quickly as possible. Once your orbit is going and you're picking off the Battlecruisers, you are good to go. That's it for the T5 Dark Sacrilege. Thank you all so much for watching, and hopefully you get the chance to try this ship out. This ship was a lot of fun to pilot, and I'm excited to keep using it for higher tier Abyssal farming. I'll leave the fitting in the description below as well as a link to my EVE workbench where you'll be able to check out the numbers for yourself. Let me know what you think of this and if it worked for you, as well as any issues y'all had. Thank y'all, and see you in the abyss.